This is a fever dream. We know Satan exists. We may not always know the details of his dealings, but the Epstein files kind of gave us an idea. What was hidden became visible for a moment, and then almost immediately, attention was redirected. In The Matrix, the blue pill is the choice to return to comfort, illusion, blissful ignorance, and normal life, to forget what you have seen and remain asleep inside a manufactured reality. It is not forced upon the masses, it is offered, and most people take it because they counted the cost of waking up and decided their peace, identity, their safety, and social belonging were not worth the price. A fever dream is quite literally the odd dreams one may experience during a fever. The brain is overheated and inflamed, so the dream feels more intense, confusing, and unreal. Metaphorically, a fever dream is a state where reality feels distorted, chaotic, and surreal, where things don't quite make sense, but you're still expected to accept them as normal. You will experience contradictions, short-term memory even. You feel like you are losing your grip even though you are the one paying attention. It'll make life feel like a movie. Have you ever stopped to think about why we have an entertainment industry? Like, why do we need entertainment? Well, entertainment didn't start as a distraction. It started as a ritual, storytelling, and meaning. Ancient people sang, danced, and told stories to remember who they were and why they existed. Even the ancient Hebrews were a society that passed down wisdom and truth through speech and the written word. As societies centralized, entertainment shifted from participation to consumption. We went from being the storytellers to being the audience. Entertainment became a way to regulate emotion, to manage boredom, and to soothe dissatisfaction. Just another form of symptom management and healing avoidance. In ancient Rome, rulers used bread and circuses, free food and constant spectacle, basically, to pacify the population, to distract them from corruption, and to prevent rebellion by keeping them entertained and dependent. As long as people were fed and amused, they were less likely to question power. This worked because it met real needs in shallow ways. Again, symptom management, but also a way of pacifying the masses. According to Merriam-Webster, the word propaganda comes from religion. Back in 1622, Pope Gregory XV set up a group called the Congregation for Propagating the Faith to help spread Catholicism. You may recognize the word propagate if you are a fellow plant lover. Plants can be propagated from seed or from their other parts, such as their stems, which creates clones. These plants, who are propagated in this way from their other parts, like their stems, their leaves, so on, they are asexual and they have no seeds. This is why we have seedless grapes. Nevertheless, the word propaganda comes from the Latin for to spread or to propagate. Originally, it just referred to this aforementioned church group. It wasn't until the early 1800s that propaganda started being used to mean biased or misleading information meant to push a particular agenda. Propaganda is persuasion without consent and without full truth. It spreads ideas in a way that bypasses discernment and trains people in what to think rather than how to think. It is manipulation, which ultimately classifies it as a form of pharmakia. Taking the blue pill so you can live in a comforting lie, speaking of pharmakia, also sets you up to accept a looped reality. Sure, time is cyclical, but this systemic fever dream takes that to another level. One example I've noticed is the measles outbreak. They obviously did the same thing with the pandemic, with the flu and RSV, but these measles outbreaks are nothing new. Take this excerpt from the Deseret newspaper from January 27th, 1989, which points out that the measles outbreak back then was seen in infants and the vaccinated school-age children who were, shocker, still susceptible to the disease. We are back in this loop with measles, except these days they are trying to convince you that the outbreak is because of the unjabbed. But the thing is that jabs are not a magic pill. You actually have to do things before and after you get jabbed to get the max benefits, if any benefits exist at all. Alas, this is a fever dream, and critical thinking skills are temporarily offline. Fear has always been one of the most effective tools of persuasion. When people are afraid, they look for authority such as talking heads and Dr. God instead of, God. They stop asking deeper questions. They stop looking below the surface. People don't want to open their eyes to the fact that this is all a fever dream. So they take their blue pill and go to sleep.